Scorpozoids guard the barren lands, blue guardians on desert sands, mind riders flash blue army brands, where mutant Zoids grasp with steel hands. Laser cannon fire lights the night, blue Zoid engines powered to fight. Circuit hearts beat, it's in rhythm, red horns laugh along Zoidstar schism. Socks and tarantulas may cry, slither Zoids and slime Zoids must fly. Spinebacks and hell runners will die, terror reds and sea rays goodbye. Battle scars etched deep in Zoid halls, red scavenger gather Zoid skulls. Mind guided brains burn null and void, which to destroy or be destroyed. The blue moon fades as the dawn breaks, blue Zoid shred makes Zoidstar lands quake. Red mutants scream torn asunder, victory tastes of blood and thunder. Socks and tarantulas may cry, slither Zoids and slime Zoids must fly. Spinebacks and hell runners will die, terror reds and sea rays goodbye. Socks and tarantulas may cry, slither Zoids and slime Zoids must fry. Spinebacks and hell runners will die, terror reds and sea rays goodbye. The blue moon fades as the dawn breaks, red scavenger gather Zoid skulls. Mind glider brains burn null and void, it's to destroy or be destroyed. The blue moon fades as the dawn breaks, blue Zoid shred makes Zoidstar lands quake. Red mutants scream when torn asunder, victory tastes of blood and thunder. Blue Zoids patrol under the hot sun, they won't stop till the war is won. Zoid fights, Zoid under Deckle skies, till Zoidstar rings to victory cries. Socks and tarantulas may cry, slither Zoids and slime Zoids must fly. Spinebacks and hell runners will die, terror reds and sea rays goodbye. robot will fury ablaze. Fighting strength of the mantis amid the cyber maze. Shadows flicker with robo struts around, staying the warrior, never yielding ground. Electric stones break skies of cyber night. Dreams of ruling robot world burn so bright. Will the robot what will stay? Red mutant might. Cross the blue steel with techno rage beam lights. Rage beam lights. Robo struts fall one by one in fire's dance. Fire's dance. Monster machines crashing metals, grim brands. Scorpion, Thou will charge with steel sights lifted high. Metal mantis and scorpion clash and cry. Roll the robot, what will stay? Red mutant might. Crush the blue steel with techno rage beam lights. Rage beam lights. Robo struts fall one by one in fire's dance. Fire's dance. Monster machines crashing metals, grim plans. To life in steel and chrome, evil scorpion will now roam to seek out others to smite. Techno Zoids will feel his spite. Shades of blue on armored hide. Evil scorpion on war's eye. Five rider takes command, seeking foes across the land. Fear, evil scorpion sting. Pterodon, to Technozoids bring. Laser blasts and beams will sing. Technozoids, war is the thing. Data will clash first. Metal crumbles and steel bursts. Evil scorpion sting cursed. In the ways of war he's first. Next comes the demon lizard. Dragon flies the sky wizard. White death is strike still. Storm tiger, the griffin killer. Evil scorpion sting. Terror the Technozoids bring. Laser blasts and beams will sing. Technozoids war is the thing. An evil scorpion win against feline titans in 10. Or will he yet fall to claw, or be crushed in Saber's jaw? targets on their screens. Charge across the hot sands, Guysacks. Crush your foes with bold massed attacks. Fire beams as you leave tracks on the desert land. Parallax, tarantula now obsolete. Ancient spider Zoid takes back seat. Now the Guysack serves the helic. Scorpozoid now rushes quick. The Guylo's empire come to fight. Sending bus falls to their Zoid might. Helic republics, new foes run. Guyzacks meet them under the sun. Charge across the hot sands, Guyzacks. Crush your foes with bold massed attacks. Fire beams as you leave tracks on the desert land. Parallax. Charge across the hot sands, Guyzacks. Crush your foes with bold massed attacks. Fire beams as you leave tracks on the desert land. Parallax. Tarantula now obsolete. Ancient spider Zoid takes back seat. Now the Guysack serves the helic. Scorpozoid now rushes quick. Still the same. Zoid against Zoid, and that's all clash. Guyzacks will charge, shoot, blast, and smash.